Hey guys, Dr. Castillo. Wanted to give you a quick overview of the materials that I've made for you. Just wanted to give you like a quick glimpse as to what I go through on a day-to-day basis and how easy it is to walk a patient from point A to point Z, from when they first walk in to when they make their next appointment and they walk out. What main spots that I have to be concerned about in terms of when I have to like turn my Spanish on, and then when I could just turn off and do my thing, right? I'm speaking Spanish as much as I possibly can, but I try to let that be delegated to the ladies up in front who speak Spanish or are bilingual. If you have that luxury, great. If not, patients that walk in and at least have a little bit of Spanish, because they're probably going to bring their own translator. If they see the doctor at least trying to learn Spanish and know a little bit, they're going to be way more excited to see somebody like you versus some other chiro down the street who may have great care, right? But because they don't know Spanish and they're not even trying, it's not going to be their first preference. So, and I usually let patients market themselves in. A lot of times they find out that our clinic has some Spanish, which makes our clinic a little bit more preferable over even a bigger clinic that does even more in terms of therapies. And even if the doctor is a little bit more experienced than me, it's not going to matter because the Spanish is what they prefer. So I'll walk you through kind of a couple areas that I have to be aware of and when I have to be ready to turn my Spanish on. So this is the front door. So they walk in. We actually have, I'll show you something real quick. So I write this, it's bilingual, it's backwards, but basically like, hey, thanks for referring friends and family. This is in Spanish right here. Referido por, like referred by, referido por, and then the names. So they walk in, front desk says hi, they get the front desk paperwork. If you need your paperwork in Spanish, let me know. We have them sit down there, right? And then they got coffee, refreshments. We make sure to let them know about that. So once they filled everything out, we bring them back here. You can walk with me. They're able to see patients on therapy, and then here are the treatment rooms, so they might actually see me in a treatment room too as well. They can actually they can kind of see me from this room, not really, but at least when they're sitting down, they can actually hear kind of what's going on. The cool thing about our office though is that the front desk kind of blocks off a lot of what's going on. So really they're not going to see it until they walk back with me to the office. So really the only thing I'm worrying about at the front area is, hey, my name is Dr. Castillo. Welcome to the clinic. Come with me. That's it. So then when they walk in the room here, we're in the x-ray room / consultation room. I'm in my standing mode right now, but typically I'll put my desk down. I say, hey, have a seat right here. Boom. Then the consult starts. After the consult, we walk directly into the exam room. So we walk back here. Ideally, you probably wanted a table, right, to do an exam in that place where you're doing the x-rays, but our clinic isn't that big enough. So we have the treatment room that we use that for. So we use that for an exam too as well. Excuse me. After the exam, 9 times out of 10, I'm taking x-rays on people. If they come in and they're really adamant that they don't want x-rays, or they're just here just for maintenance purposes, or maybe they're like out of town and they're obviously not going to even come in ever again, which does happen. I mean, we have people come in from different countries and it's like family and they're on like tourist visas. I mean, I'm not gonna waste my time and propose treatment plans for people that are just gonna hop in for maybe 1 or 2 times. So unless absolutely needed, the doctor stuff, that's always good to do. Then we take x-rays. I do digital x-rays. We do the positioning over there. I can walk you through how to do that. Pretty straightforward. And then after that, we start with a complementary therapy. We use traction tables, and we also have EMS, depending on what's available. I'll typically start them with an EMS unit, and a lot of times that's very new for Spanish speakers. For Barbara, for Patricia, for Bob, Bob's probably already seen a TENS unit or maybe an EMS unit, but this stuff is cool. A lot of times for Spanish speakers, even just a basic EMS unit, they've never ever experienced something like that. On the second day, sometimes I'll even throw another complementary therapy in. I'll let them try one of these traction beds just to kind of amp up the experience for them. And then we will propose the treatment plans after that. So kind of coming full circle, after the therapy, we usually will go into the room. I'll kind of tell them the plan, tell them, hey, we're gonna go over x-rays, come up with some recommendations to see if we can accept you as a patient, right? To see if we can help you, right? We all know that chiro is good for everyone, but the verbiage is really important to use, just so that they know that they can either be denied or accepted as a new patient. And then after that, we go up to the front desk, easy peasy, right? Get them scheduled for the next appointment, make sure it's either the day after or 2 days after, no less than that. So obviously, lo más pronto posible, the most soonest as possible is what I say to the front desk, so that they know that we're all on the same page. And literally, that's it. That's it. I mean, obviously, they're going to come back to the review of findings and recommendations, but that's kind of what a day one feels like. Day two, they come in, same deal. Maybe start with the therapy. We go back to the treatment room, or I'm sorry, the office. We go over x-rays, we go over recommendations. I have very easy cash plans that are easy to describe and go over. It's literally like a 16 or a 15, a 20, or a 24 plan. The price ranges depending on what the patient needs. Average treatment plans around 1,100 in our clinic, at least for what works best for me and my demographics. I probably could charge more, but things are working really well with what I'm doing currently. So that's all done in there. Once they start, we always do therapy first, then adjustment after. I'll typically do EMS first, but if they're not in a lot of pain and they're just for like maintenance purposes, we'll do the traction. After the therapy, we do the adjustment. After the adjustment, I hand them a little CBD cream too as well. That's kind of like something that I personally do. And then the reason is because we actually sell it up in front there. If you see that case right there. So we sell it up in front, and we also include it in our cash plans too as well. So after the adjustment, boom, front desk, get them scheduled again, and that's it. So really, if you could walk through an entire process, right? Because obviously you got your day-to-day grind here in the treatment room. It's the day one, talking to them in the front lobby area, making sure to not only just introduce yourself to the patient, but also to their family as well. Knowing how to go through a day one, which takes like a couple minutes. It's really nothing crazy. The toughest part is finding out like what activities of daily living are affected and why they're there. But most people, I've even found that some people, I'm not even to articulate to them what they're here for or what they could benefit from, but they just know, and they just know what we're all about, and they're super thankful for just some sort of care, and they're not wanting to go anywhere else. And so this is the place, right? And right, I just know that from a Spanish speaking standpoint. If it's English, I had to be way more on point with, because right, Barbara, they can go to 15 other clinics in this area, but Pedro, Maria, they only have like one other clinic. So there are about 6 or 7 major Spanish clinics here in Minnesota. So it's a little bit tougher, I should say a lot tougher, to find a chiro clinic that speaks Spanish. So I know I can kind of walk around a little bit more confidently. That would be tougher if I was in Texas or in California or Florida. I feel like I'd have to be a little bit more specific, maybe my technique or my marketing. But for Minnesota, this is what's working currently. So I'm going to give you specific materials and info on each area of the office that we have, so that you can walk a patient through the first day, the second day. Hopefully you do a 2-day process. If not, you can just speed them up and make sure that they're able to understand what you do, find out what they're needing, and making sure that you can become the solution to their problems, and then walk them through a treatment plan, have them pay for the treatment plan, and then do the re-exams, the re-signs, all that stuff. So that's pretty much quick in a nutshell. Just want to keep it real short and sweet, and I'll be right back at you with another video.